house at a hospital in Nairobi causes uproar with unclear charges by police against her.
Unfortunately, our Chief Justice went too public about this issue.
Chief Justice Martha Koome security reinstated, with the police service shifting blame away from themselves, say the protective detail was recalled for retraining purposes. Court clears way for President William Ruto to appoint an IEBC selection panel 2 years after exit of commissioners from the electoral agency. Well, thank you for your time. My name is Cynthia. Nanjala. EBN Weekend Edition kicks off right now. Grace Njoki made headlines a few nights ago after storming into a press briefing conducted by the Cabinet Secretary for Health, Deborah Mulongo Baraza, to air grievances about the failure of the Social Health Authority, SHA, to function. And on Thursday night, she made headlines yet again after being dramatically arrested by police officers in the brazen view of patients in hospital. Now, speaking to journalists at Capitol Hill Police Station on Friday in Nairobi, shortly after being released on a 10,000 Kenyan shillings police cash bail, Njoki recalled going to Ladnan Hospital in Pangani to collect her test results as she suffers from a heart condition. CCTV footage shows Njoki being arrested by officers perceived to be from Pangani Police Station before she was taken to 3 different locations. Furthermore, Njoki passionately explained that her actions to storm CS Baraza's briefing stemmed from her desire to fight for patients' rights, since the Social Health Authority, SHA, is inefficient in putting the health of Kenyans in jeopardy.
I felt I was being abducted because that was my fear. That is what I felt. Because I do not know why I was arrested. To me it's not arresting, to me it's abduction. Because I had gone for treatment. So could they not wait for me to finish my treatment?
They have relented. They have sought to run with their tails behind their back on account of the fact that they were unprepared.
The only crime she did was to go and remind the state, the deaf state operators, that I have paid for SHA and I am not able to receive the services that I have paid for.
I'm wondering even why she was incarcerated for a night in the police cells, because the offense ambao anataka kumchaji nayo is bailable. Haja commit murder. Yeah, she was fighting for the rights of other women in this country.
Well, this has caused quite an uproar from Kenyans who, if you look at just some of their sentiments that they are, putting out on social media, they're quite angry on the manner in which the police conducted themselves, especially arresting somebody dramatically like that in a hospital, a place where, is one of the most vulnerable places to make an arrest. And so brings in a lot of question on what this really was all about. If you look at the charge sheet that the police have been able to, plant against her, quite unclear on what exactly she's being arrested for. And we'll be looking to see what more details unravel from that and the way forward as well for the Social Health Authority, because this is an issue at the center of public discourse on whether it's functioning well or it is not. Now, the National Police Service has dismissed claims that security officers assigned to Chief Justice Martha Koome have been withdrawn, claiming that they had been recalled for retraining. Following the shocking revelation of the withdrawal of security by the Chief Justice, the Law Society of Kenya and the Kenya Magistrate and Judges Association expressed their uproar, terming it an affront to the doctrine of separation of powers. The association accused unnamed individuals of attempting to reinvent and deploy McCarthyism tactics to intimidate and coerce judges and magistrates with the ultimate goal of weakening the judiciary.
The Law Society of Kenya has taken note of the letter from the Chief Justice, the Honorable Lady Martha Koome, addressed to the Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Interior and the Inspector General of Police. By the said letter, the Chief Justice revealed a concerning decision by the National Police Service to withdraw the security detail attached to her office and apparent weakening of the Judicial Police Unit. We condemn this unfortunate move and confirm that whether by omission or commission, the said situation is unacceptable and indicates grave systematic and administrative lapses within the National Police Service. From the onset, we point out that the Constitution of Kenya 2010 establishes firm, elaborate, and independent institutions whose mutual understanding and interdependent operations provide a lasting safeguard for good governance for the people of Kenya. Importantly, the Constitution contemplates 3 distinctive arms of government of similar status and priority to ensure the ability to uphold necessary checks and balances. The mistaken perception that the judiciary is subordinate to the other arms of government is a historic bastardization of the principle of separation of powers, which must be deconstructed. The National Police Service is established as part of the organs of the national security, which must serve all people and institutions equally and without prejudice.
On his part, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has criticized the Chief Justice Martha Koome'S handling of the recall of 3 officers of her security detail, citing the leaking of a letter to the press. Speaking in Kwale during the launch of the National Government Administration Unit, a formation assigned to national administration officials, Murkomen claimed that he had learned of some details through the media rather than through direct communication from the Chief Justice.
I saw the Chief Justice had complained yesterday about the promotion of police officers who are tied to her and subsequent movement to go for training. Unfortunately, our Chief Justice went too public about this issue, and I want to assure you that I have excellent relationship with the Chief. I think I have a good relationship with the Chief Justice, unless on her side she has an issue. I have never had an issue with the Chief Justice. The IG has never had an issue with the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice is one of the most, for the comfort of the country, the Chief Justice is among public officers who are properly taken care of in terms of her security. I know the manual says that she is entitled to 6 police officers as her bodyguards, but the Chief Justice has been given up to 32 police officers. The IG thought he was doing a favor to the officers who are working with the Chief Justice by promoting them. It appears now that same favor has hit the IG hard. Ordinarily, the Chief Justice should have called the IG to say thank you very much for promoting my officers. We want to assure the Chief Justice that that was a small matter. It didn't necessitate raising alarm. People now think all over the world that there is a scheme somewhere to deny the Chief Justice security for the benefit of the country. Even after the 3 officers were being sent for training, the Chief Justice was still going to remain with about 29 officers from different kind of guarding her home, being with her. The ones up to almost 7 drivers who are police officers, among others. The Chief Justice, I confirm, called me yesterday, and I told the Chief Justice that I was going to look into this issue and get clarification from the IG. I need to notify the country that there is no scheme, there was no reason, there is no motive. You just don't wake up one morning and say, you know, I want to do this. It's just that the officers are extremely excited that they were going to be promoted. Now I don't know what will happen if we return them and tell them now, awaiting the Chief Justice directions, you wait for your promotions. I don't know what will happen.
More reactions. So Jubilee Party's Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni also faulted President William Ruto for attempts to intimidate the judiciary and state capture.
Of the security team or the security officers from the CJ's office, because we are dealing with the office, is an indication of a person who is still bent on capturing all these institutions. If he is unhappy with judgments coming from the judiciary, he should learn to live with them, like many have done in the past. But removing security from the Chief Justice is an attempt again to capture the institution, like he has captured Parliament, he has captured IEBC, and he may want to, and he certainly wants to capture the judiciary. Na sisi tunataka kusimama na mambo ya mahakama, na tuseme ya kwamba majaji wa mahakama waruhusiwa wafanye kazi yao bila maneno ya kuwasubua, hata kama haufurahii yale ambao wanatoa kama uamuzi. We demand the reinstatement of the security to the CJ and any other judicial officer whose security has been withdrawn. It is the only thing he can do. Ama pia achorwe.
The Kiambu Court has dismissed a petition challenging the constitution of the IEBC Commissioners Selection Panel on grounds that the petitioner, Boniface Njogu, had failed to prove that persons living with disabilities had been excluded in the panel's empanelment. In her ruling, Justice Dola Chepkwony also dismissed a petition challenging Azimio's nomination process, saying that the claim that the coalition failed to conduct a competitive and open recruitment exercise could not be substantiated. The ruling now gives President William Ruto the green light to appoint the IEBC selection panel with the following nominees: Dr. Nelson Makanda, Fatuma Saman, Ambassador Koki Muli, Evans Misati, Nicodemus Bore Kipchirchir, Andrew Tanui Kipkoech, Caroline Kituku, Professor Adams Olo, and Linda Koome.
That the nomination was a sham, or that a non-transparent process was conducted, or at all. This court also observes that the minority coalition party was not joined in these proceedings that the minority coalition party, the very entity whose process the petitioner impugns, was not joined in these proceedings as a party. And therefore, there is a rule against condemning a person without, or an entity without hearing, and this equally applies in constitutional decisions. In the circumstances, it is this court's conclusion that the petitioner has failed to discharge the evidential burden as required under sections 107 and 109 of the Evidence Act to show that the minority coalition party defied or subverted the High Court orders or the statutory procedures as he alleges. In this claim, the court finds that.
Now, Kalonzo Musyoka, while reacting to the High Court ruling, has called on President William Ruto to move with speed and appoint the selection panel, which sets the stage for the reconstitution of the electoral agency.
We demand that President William Ruto moves with speed to now put in place the 9-person selection panel for the IEBC, leading, of course, into the formation and reconstitution of the IEBC. There can be no other pretense. Others, as I said, were blaming us, and this was not an application in Kiambu. This was a state-sponsored application, and we are happy they have ordered, or whatever it is, a judge in Kiambu. We don't want to criticize that ruling. But now, the other matter in the Court of Appeal by Mr. Augustine Muli can continue because there are no orders. There are no orders in that matter before the Court of Appeal. The orders were only out of the Kiambu court. Therefore, this is a second opportunity, and I spoke about this last time when my good friend Weta, he still remains my very good friend, by the way, in spite of the talks I've had out there in the West. So, this is a time for him to forward the names. As chairperson of the Parliamentary Service Commission, I think it is the Senate, or is it the Senate clerk who is supposed to forward these names forthwith to the President, and the President should immediately put in place the IEBC selection panel. On Monday, we hope to come up with a very clear statement on what's going on in the meantime within the IEBC Secretariat itself. There are terrible things going on there, like procurement.
In yet another rally in the western part of the country, President William Ruto did not hold back in his political rhetoric, calling out the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. In a strongly worded statement, Ruto called Gachagua incompetent and a tribal person that deserved to be removed from office.
Mimi na Mheshimiwa Prime Minister Gwambo tumekubaliana, ndio ya kwamba mambo ya siasa ya kugawana, siasa ya chuki, siasa ya ukabila, siasa ya kutenga Wakenya wengine, hiyo siasa tuweke kikomo. Na ndio sababu mumeona nimetengeneza serikali ya kuunganisha Wakenya wote, ndio tuweze tutembee pamoja, tushughulike na mambo ya maendeleo ya taifa letu la Kenya pamoja. Ndio Kenya hii tusiwe na chuki, tusiwe na mambo ya kugawana, tushirikiane pamoja. Ndio tuweze kushughulika kujenga soko kama hii, tupange mambo ya elimu, tupange mambo ya matibabu, tuongeze stima, tupange yale mambo mengine, ndio Kenya iweze kwenda mbele. Na nishawaambia wale watu matapeli wale, kuna watu matapeli ambao walikuwa na kazi kubwa kubwa wakashindwa because of incompetence, kwa sababu ya ukabila, kwa sababu ya ufisadi, kwa sababu ya chuki, kwa sababu ya kukosa mwelekeo. Ati wanaenda pale wanatupatia lecture. Mnatupatia lecture kama nani? Bure kabisa. Hiyo kama tunaelewana bwana. Wazi tulete, tunaelewana? Hii Kenya kwa mapenzi ya Mungu tutaunganisha Kenya hii. Na Wakenya wote wajivunie kwamba ni Wakenya. Na tupange mambo ya masomo ya watoto wetu. Tupange mambo ya kuunda barabara, kuhakikisha kwamba watu wako na mambo ya afya, tuhakikisha kwamba tunazalisha uchumi, tuondoe umaskini, tujenge uchumi, Kenya isonge mbele. Tumeelewana watu wa Busia? Mnasema tuungane, tembee pamoja.
The High Court has ordered Sarah Wairimu Cohen to be remanded at Langata Women's Prison until Wednesday, January 29th, over the murder of her late husband, Tob Cohen, in July 2019. Wairimu was rearrested on Thursday after the Director of Public Prosecutions, Renson Ngonga, stated that there was overwhelming evidence showing that she murdered her husband at their home in Lower Kabete. High Court Judge Diana Kavenza noted that both parties had submitted extensive arguments and she required more time to address all the issues in detail.
Once the judge had entered a nolle prosequi in that matter stopped and cannot be resuscitated as suggested by the friends. Your Honor, it is premature for counsels to address you on the issue of evidence. This court will have the opportunity at the appropriate moment to address you on the issue of evidence. How is this court supposed to be guided insofar as the issue of mental assessment is concerned, or the mental status of the suspect is concerned?
The prosecution has not adduced any evidence to show that anything has changed with regards maybe to the health of the accused that would necessitate another mental assessment to be done.
I would like to come up with an elaborate ruling to cover all the points of law that have been raised by both sides. For this reason, the accused shall be remanded at Langata Women Prison. To enable me to write a well-reasoned ruling shall be produced on 29th of January in open court for the ruling.
The education sector in Haiti has been among the hardest hit by gang activities. Attacks, abductions, and the forced recruitment of children have made gangs the primary threat to peace-loving Haitians. In line with the mission's mandate, they are actively working to ensure that schools reopen and learning resumes across the country. In gang-controlled areas, prominent schools have been forced to close and relocate. Within a small compound, overcrowded classrooms hold students from different grades together. Raphael Kimberly, Emil Maranatha, and Desus Chilanda led their classmates in singing a Swahili Catholic song that has gained popularity in Haiti.
Jambo, jambo bwana, habari gani? Mzuri sana.
The help of the Kenyans is about security. They'll help us and the internal security because without the presence of the Kenyans, the situation was were very bad. But with Kenyans, they improve the situation now. They fight gang with team of police, with team of Asian police every time, in the day and the night. They work very hard. They're very hard with us to improve the situation.
It is good for young children to appreciate security. They should not fear the police. They should see police as their parents, their fathers, their cousins, their brothers. So we bring them in a sense that they should not fear, they should appreciate. Instead of joining gangs, they should look at security as part of the career for them. So that is why we want to be approachable. Yeah, to demystify that perspective that police are people who are feared. Yeah, when you present a humane face to kids, they will grow up knowing that police are there to help them, not to pacify them, not to crucify them, but to help them. They are there to support them. And that is why you could see from our interaction here, they are very receptive from teachers, from students, from people selling their food here. Everybody is receptive.
And they help us to fight gang. Now we improve. They improve the situation for us. Now it is better for us. But formerly it was very difficult to work here.
Emalia mama wetu wema, mama ongo gozi wetu.
That actually speaks Swahili better than most of us, isn't it, right? Now, if you're still in the business of trading shisha in any local joint in Kenya and enjoying profits from it, well, woe unto you, because the government has marked businesses and soon may be among those spending quality time in the Kenyan cells. The Principal Secretary Health, Mary Muthoni, has called for joint efforts to eradicate the addictive menace. Our reporter Tabitha Wanjiru has more.
A crackdown involving different government agencies is to be instituted after the PS for Public Health and Professional Standards, Mary Muthoni, says that the Ministry of Health is thoroughly concerned with the sales and consumption of shisha. This product that harms not only the primary consumers but also the secondary consumers, putting both at risk.
Bangi kwa mtungi wanaanza kuvuta. Wanaita shisha. Sasa hiyo maneno hiyo hatutaki kuitikia because itatuharibu. Na pia wewe ukivuta hiyo smoke ukiwa karibu, hata wewe ndio ina affect zaidi.
Speaking in Murang'a during a community health promoter sanitization and training workshop at Mihoti Catholic Church, PS Muthoni said there was a lurking danger in the tobacco products whose importation, distribution, sale and consumption is prohibited in the country. In December 2024, the Court of Appeal affirmed the decision of the High Court banning shisha uptake in the country. Thus, any person caught selling or distributing will be attracting a hefty fine courtesy of the court.
So tuende tukiongelesha watu mambo ya tobacco use na mambo ya madawa za kulevya. Tuwaambie waachane nazo.
According to PS Muthoni, a multi-agency team comprising of key stakeholders in health and security are in the final stages of launching a nationwide campaign that will nab key personalities involved in the illicit trade. She also said there lies risk in school-going children immersing themselves in tobacco usage without the parents' knowledge due to changes in packaging. The crackdown to start anytime will also target products that are not well labeled, especially on the effects they cause to the user.
As a ministry, we are going to enforce to 100% adherence to those new products in the market, that their labeling must inform the public that this one kills. Kama venye package ya sigara inakuanga imewekwa mpaka coffee napo, hata hizo tumesema waweke.
Tabitha Wanjiro, EBN TV.
Now, young people in Kisii County who graduated from construction courses expressed their joy after receiving official certificates from the National Construction Authority in collaboration with the Kisii Women Representatives Office. The event took place in Nduru Secondary School Hall in South Mugirango, where the graduates met to receive their certificates. This program is designed to assist individuals who have finished their construction training but lack necessary certificates to obtain employment. Destiny Mbatha reports.
In a significant development for the youth in Kisii County, a group of young individuals who completed their construction courses received their official certificates. These events mark a vital step towards the employment opportunities and economic empowerment. The program aims to assist those who completed their technical and construction training but faced challenges in their villages due to lack of certificates, which hindered their ability to secure jobs.
Wako na hiyo knowledge, wasifungiwe kando eti hawana hiyo certificate ya kufanya hiyo kazi, kwa sababu mnaweza hata kubaliana na mimi, kuna interviews, if you have not presented the certificate of good conduct, they disqualify you from that interview. So I don't want our fundis to be sent away because of that small thing.
Many of these young people shared their joy and relief, expressing that with these certificates, they now have a legitimate pathway to earn a living and contribute to their communities.
Kumoja nilienda kutafuta hii certificate, nilitiswa pesa mingi sana. Mara ya kwanza nilipelekwa process zenye sikumaliza. Mara ya pili nikaja nikaitiswa pesa mpaka nikaamua nikaachana naye. Nimefanya kazi kwa miaka zaidi ya 10 lakini sina hiyo certificate. Certificate yenye niko naye peke yake ni ile ya shule.
This initiative not only empowers the youth but also addresses the skills gap in the construction industry, promoting economic growth in the region. As these graduates embark on their new journey, they represent hope and resilience for many others in similar situations. With the right support and recognition, they are poised to make a significant impact in their fields.
Na wahimiza vijana wengine wote ambao wako hapa mara siku ya leo, tunaomba mimi kama mimi fundi nitaenda kama ambassador huko village na nipeleke message ya kwamba sisi wote tunahitajika na sisi wote serikali isatujua.
Destiny Mbatha, EBN TV.
A section of citizens and businessmen in Mombasa County have sent out their statements to congratulate the managing director of the Port of Mombasa, Captain William Ruto, due to his performance, which they described as perfect in allocating jobs without discrimination of any kind. However, the citizens have given a strong warning to some of the leaders who are making statements aiming to tarnish the name of the managing director.
Tunaomba wasitafutie bali wape tena afanye kazi adumishe kile kile ni mambo na kusema bara kabila sasa kipindi kama ni kabila haiwezi kujenga msikiti ndani kipie unaenda kufanya ibada baada na sitoshe MD huyo mnamuita ni kabila amepata ndugu zetu wa kwani promotion kwa kitabu cha watu wote walipata promotion
Wajua kwanza tukienda kwenye katiba article 27 inaongea kuhusu freedom from discrimination. Na hiyo ndio kitu tumekuwa tukiililia sana. Kwamba usio discriminated hata kwa sababu ya ancestral origin yako. Na hiyo ndio kitu sasa hivi tumekuwa kiwa pale chini. Na tukienda article 227 sasa ambayo inaongea kuhusu public procurement of goods and services. Inasema lazima hiyo process ama hiyo system iwe inaweza kuhakikisha kuko competitive, kuko fair, kuko transparent na kuko cost effective. Na sub article 2B inasema ya kwamba wale watu ambao traditionally walikuwa hawapati hizo opportunities, lazima kuweko mikakati wao waanze kupata. Sasa leo hii wanaanza kupata. PWD, mimi sahii na enterprise ambayo ina ARPO ya youth, tunapata. Women wako hapa wanapata. Watu wengine they have become uncomfortable.
Kija kwa upande wa procurement, kila kitu kiko shwari. Hauangalii kama wewe ni tajiri unapangula, hauangalii kama wewe masikini, hauangalii kama wewe ni Mkristo, hauangalii kama wewe ni Muislamu. Sote we are served equally. Hakuna special or others pale. Kwa hivyo sisi tuwakemea na tuwapa last warning. Wale ambao wanaeneza propaganda kutaka kumchafulia MD jina, tuwaambia mkome, na kabla mjamfikia yeye, sisi tuko tayari kama majeshi hapa.
Tulikuwa tupatikana. Captain Ruto wakati ameingia alitupangia kazi mpaka kwa ofisi yake, tukawa mtu akiingia pale hata simu na mapu anamwona mlango wake kila mtu anaingia anamwona na anaongea na ametupatia kazi kama sisi wa mapu.
All right, so that is all we had for you tonight. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you are up to date with what is making headlines across the country. Well, have yourself a fantastic weekend ahead. It's still January, and I know how frustrating it is for a lot of people. So hope to see you Monday, same time, same place. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Good night.